Great people of YouTube, what's going on? This is Preacher. So, I'm going to talk about my lease truck that I got. Y'all see it? It's a Cascadia, right? So, am I making money with this lease truck? Yes. Would I recommend somebody getting a lease truck? I always say, do your own homework and make your own decision. Don't listen to somebody else, because what works for one person may not work for you. All right, so you got to do your own research. You got to remember, I had owned my own truck, cash truck, still own it. It's in the shop now, but it's getting a new shift lever. My shift lever housing was slipping, so I'm getting a new shift lever housing, a whole shift lever and the housing and everything put on it, and then just going through it. So you got to remember, I've been booking my own loads, running my own thing for 2 years before I decided to go ahead and get this lease truck. Now, am I making money? Yes. I average between $2,200 to $2,800 a week with this lease truck. I have an all-included maintenance, included lease, which it totals up to $1,300 a week that I pay on this truck. Why did I get an all-inclusive maintenance, repairs, everything, including the one price, including towing and everything? That's because I didn't want to be putting my money into a truck that I'm not going to own. So I'd rather pay the extra money and have them fix their truck. There's all PMs, everything. I don't, not a dime. But tires. Only way that they will replace the tires if I come to their facility, and then they will exchange the tires for free. Okay, but if I need the tire or anything like that on the road, then it comes out of my pocket at that point. So and now something like that you could choose. I mean, you can get a used tire for about $150, then catch a load somewhere going to one of their authorized tire places, and go ahead and get the new tire put on at that time. So you have a flat tire, it's whatever, pay the $150, get a used tire, make it to other place, they put on a new tire, and you can try to give them that tire as credit if you want, or keep a tire, or however you want to do it. All right. Now, a lot of people is going to say, man, you crazy paying $1,300. Well, you go out and you try to rent or lease a truck for a short period of time. Go ahead. You go to Ryder, Penske, you got to put down $5,000, plus you're going to have to pay the mileage up front for the week you're going to run. So you still going to be at between $1,200 to $1,400 a week renting a truck or leasing a truck for one of them. And you gave them $5,000 down. Okay. Trust me, I done been through it. I have been through it. All right. So it's easier to go this route where you just put down like $2,000 and just pay the $1,300 a week. Now, I knew that I can afford this. Why? Because what I've been making and how I've been booking loads for the last 2 years. Okay, so I knew that, hey, I can pay $1,300 and still make over $2,200 a week. Okay, now with Karen, yeah, that would have been all money, but that's the $3,500, $3,700, $3,800 I was making a week, right? I don't have a payment with Karen. So now with this, having a payment, it's just taking $1,300 off of what I was already making before. And I can live off of, like I said, between 20, it really be like 24 most of the time, but between 24 and 28. I done had a couple weeks where I did 28. I had a week, 2 weeks I did about 32, but for the most part, it's consistently $2,300, $2,400 a week. on that note. And that's even with me going home on the weekends, all right, and staying out through the week. So sometimes you got to ask yourself, hey, is, you know, $2,200-$2,300 enough for you? Or is it not? You know, some people can say, do you want to be putting money inside of somebody else's truck and knowing that you ain't going to own it? Or not? All right, but this is the difference. Now, I can decide whether to buy this truck. I can decide whether to do a lease purchase on this truck. I can decide to continue to lease it. I can decide to rent it. All right, lease is just for a term. Rent is a month to month on the rent. I can decide to go ahead and finance it and everything like that. Okay, but what I'm finding out is I don't want to deal with death. I don't want to deal with the death. All right, I'm a little weary about the death system. I'm weary about it. You know, and this is 2021 on this. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at when they do the maintenance, I'm like, they ain't doing nothing to the death system on this thing at all. No, they ain't. I took it to the freight liner, and actually y'all gonna go through the death system, you know, just to make sure everything is all right. No, we just do the basics. Oh, okay. Y'all just do the basics. So, you know, so sometimes it'd be like, well, if you ain't doing maintenance on the death system, with the death system kind of go bad, you know, making sure the connectors for all the sensors is clean, there's no erosion on them, you know, they ain't like checking nothing. So sometimes you got to be wary, even when you know, going out buying trucks. You don't know, just because it comes from a fleet, it don't mean that they take care of it 100%. You know, there always can be issues with things like that. Now, if I decide, say for instance, I decide that, hey, you know what, I might want to buy this new truck. You know, yeah, the price would go down if y'all want it. No, it won't be $1,300 a week if you buy this new truck. It won't even be $1,300 a week if I'm doing a lease purchase on this truck. But for me to lease it for a quarter, you know, that's every 3 months. I can renew the lease every 3 months, right? I can renew the lease. And it's just one of those type of things where I'm trying to decide, you know, what markets do I want to run, how I want to run, things like that. I mean, because I'm like, well, if I'm paying, like, if I'm going to own this truck, the payments will go down to like, they said like $767 to $800 a week. It'll go down to that. So yeah, I save a lot more money if I decide to finance this truck, or if that's something that I want to do. But it's like I don't know. You know, my driver that I have with Karen, you know, that driver makes $850 a week. I have an account that pays me $800 a load, 6 loads a week. And the driver goes home, he does a 34-hour reset for the rest of the day, Saturday, and off on Sundays to start back on Monday. All right, that truck is profiting me about $1,300 a week that I make, and my driver makes $850. And all the deductions and expenses and everything come out of that. So when you look at stuff like that, it's like, well, yeah, you know, so if that, you know, if Karen's giving me $1,300, that pretty much is my payment for this particular truck, as far as lease go. But, you know, after that contract is over with Karen, then it's like, well, what I'm gonna do? My driver, he just working through the contract. Okay, that's the only thing he's doing. He's working through a contract. He's from Michigan, and he's down here up until the end of January. Then he leaves, but the contract is also up at the end of January at that particular point in time when he leaves. And so when it was first in the shop, I went ahead and jumped and got this in particular truck, you know, so I could still be making money while my truck is in the shop. When it got up and running, I got this little contract, and then the contract, it goes. If y'all know about Convoy, they have contracts that goes like for 2 months, 3 months, and things like that. So I was able to get a contract through Convoy for this particular load and stuff like that. So, it's stuff varies. All right. Now, could I keep this and probably turn it to a lease? The lease will be to lease this here truck right here per week for a lease purchase is $900. I'm like, whoa, $900. But do I want to continue to run like this? That's not something. So when I look at everything, you got to look at, is it worth it? All right. Now, when I really get out there and run, yeah, that's when I made the $3,000 and stuff like that, $3,200 and stuff like that, right? But I'm looking at, reading up on freight waves. I'm looking at the markets and seeing what the market is bringing and things like that. And I noticed how some of these loads now, they want a load that, it's just a day run. They want you to hold on the load for 2 days before you deliver the day. So now if you're doing that, now you are missing a whole day of revenue. Why? Because you pick a load that's going to take you 2 days to deliver when normally it take you to 1 day to deliver. So it's hard. It's getting a little bit harder, to come up with that money. So when I'm averaging about 85, 88 a week, it went down to not averaging like 7,000 a week. So I can easily make 7,000 a week. Easily make 7,000 a week, but it's getting harder to make that 85, 86, unless you want to go in areas. Now, I don't run every single area. Yeah, I went all the way to California, but I'm not going in the snow. When I drive in the snow, I drive in the slushy. And I've been up there in the hard snow. Yes, I have. But that's a little bit different. I kind of pick where I'm going, in the area that I'm going, because I don't want to go on those major interstates with a whole bunch of snow and whiteout snow and things like that. Then I pick the times that I do run at those particular times. So I'll make sure I'm running when the snow piles is out there, it's nice sun shining, things like that, in those areas that I pick. I look at the weather and stuff like that. But again, like I said, man, it's a challenge. It's a game, and you have to know the game to make this lease game work. Could it work? Like I said, I'm easily doing $2,500 after everything's said and done. That's the high cost of fuel, and this $1,300 on this lease that I got. But again, I know I established the relationship with the brokers, so I still get my rates and I still make my money that I need to make. So I knew, even though that this truck was going to be cost me $1,300 a week, I'm still going to be able to make a pretty penny on it, and then I don't have to worry about nothing with the truck and still make it. Like I said, for some of y'all, I'm saying 24, y'all can be like, hey, they ain't no money. $2,400 ain't no money. Yeah, but it's no money to you. To somebody else, it may be something. For somebody else who's been a company driver that's only been making like $1,000 a week, hey, you mean to tell me that I can go and lease a truck, do a full maintenance lease for $1,300 and still possibly bring home $2,400, $2,500 after everything's said and done? For them, that's an extra $1,400 a week. So how you going to tell them that that's not no money? For you, yeah, it may not be no money for you. This may not be your game that you want to do. Okay, but like I said, I have a paid off truck too. My paid off truck, I was doing $38,000, $4,000, $4,200, $4,400 with a paid off truck. I don't have to worry about no payments. Easy, said and done. But that's a daycare. So I wanted, before I go out and buy myself a sleeper truck, right? And I tried to develop some lanes to run that I would like to run, and I'm testing those out with the same brokers that I've been using when I was using for my daycare. So I've been, testing out those particular markets with a sleeper truck. So now when I know that, hey, okay, if I go out and buy me a sleeper truck, I know I can potentially make this amount of money. And I know now my payments won't be no $1,300. I can, right now, the dude waiting on me, because one of my friends, he got a truck from them, right? I can go get one of those trucks. His payment is $1,600 a month. Okay, $1,600 a month. And the guy just asked for $8,000 down. That's it. That's it. He got 4 trucks available right now for $8,000 down. $38,000 for. So it's there, but I want to make sure that that's the move that I want to make. And it's easier to make sure that's the move I want to make if I actually buy a truck. Now I'm responsible for it. Now it's on my credit, the whole 9 yards. Can I get out here and make this thing work in this market with the rates how they are and the fuel is how they are? Can I do that? Can I get out there and make it work? Okay, with this lease, I can terminate this lease at any time. If I terminate it early, they take the $2,000 if I terminate it early. If I do the full 3 months, which January the 3rd would be the full 3 months, right? I get my $2,000 back. Even on January the 3rd, when it'll be the full 3 months, because remember I got this in October the 4th is when I had got this truck. October, November, December. So after December, so January, that's it. The guy was like, well, I could turn it to a rent and rent it month to month. So I'm like, well, okay, I might just do that. I might just rent this truck for another month. And when the contract was over with and my driver for Karen, he goes back, I get back inside of Karen. And then I go ahead and do what I was doing before. I stack the money. And then I go out and buy the other truck and have a sleeper truck. But then when I get the truck, I got to do a whole bunch of stuff to the truck before I put it on the road, things like that. But $1,600 a month, I can easily do $1,600 a month. That's just $400 a week compared to the $1,300 a week that I'm paying now. And like I said, the different lanes that I'm running, that's what I'm looking to do. So right now, my lease experience with this truck as a lease operator, it's fine. It may not be enough for you though. Like I said, it may not be enough for you. You may look at that, man, there ain't no money, and you're absolutely right. That's not enough money for you and your bills and your financial situation. You need a lot more, and I hope you get it. I hope you get out here and you get it. That's just not my situation. My situation is I need to make $11.50 a week. That's all I need to make. $11.50 a week. Look back at all my old videos, even from Warner days. $11.50 a week. That's how my life, that's how all my bills, that's how all my finances is set up, with me making $11.50 a week. That's it. So anything over $11.50, I'm doing good, because that's the only thing I need is $11.50 per week. That may not be you. Y'all saw my house, y'all saw my motorcycle, y'all saw all this stuff. I have all that before I became an owner-operator. All right, I didn't get none of that stuff after I became an owner-operator. I had all that with Warner. 5-bedroom, 3 full bath house, 2,600 square feet, 2-story. Y'all didn't seen it. I got all that with Warner at $11.50 a week. My motorcycle, everything I got when I was working with Warner Enterprises. Okay, at $11.50 a week. That's how I'm set, and I kept the status quo. That's it. You make more money. I don't go out and get more bills just because I didn't make more money. That's crazy. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's, that's what you do. You making more money. You making more money so you can spend how you want to spend. I never judge another man by what they do and what money they have in their pocket. I don't judge them. I mean, that's you. All right. And people who hate. Okay, I never seen a hater doing better than the person who they hate now. Think about that.